Hi there, welcome to today's Team Clueless Battle Report. We're playing on a bit of a city table today. Who'd have known it that the battle mat has a nice black back to it, so you can turn it over and it looks better than the bare table. We are playing Big Guns Never Tire today, and we're playing a team game, two sides, two players on each side of 1,000 points each. We intend to go to the Overlords. They've got a small tournament at the end of next month, so we intend to go there, a few of us, so we're practicing with our armies for there. So the Big Guns Never Tire mission, and we're playing standard deployment. It seems like, well, a couple of years since I last played this. So myself and True are setting up over there, and we're both playing Blood Angels. And then Chris and Paul are setting up over here, and they have an unholy alliance of Imperial Guard and Tyranids. That's Tyranids. So where are our objectives today? Where did you hide them all? So there is one hidden down here. There is another one hidden up here. There's one, you can see where Trude is pointing, it's inside that building. And then there's one at the back there behind our Aegis defence line, which is part of Trude's army, along with the quad gun there. And there's one in there, you can probably see a little bit of it. Okay, let's see what armies we have. Okay, it's my 1,000 points of Blood Angels I'm bringing today. We are led by a Reclusiarch. He's just as standard, but he is leading 5 Death Company. They have 2 power axes amongst their number. Then we also have a Sanguinary Priest with jump pack. And has he got the Melter Bombs? He has the Melter Bombs. Other troop choices we have an Assault Squad with jump packs, and they have 2 Flamers, and the Sergeant, look at him looking all badass waiting to be painted, has 2 Hand Flamers. Lots of templates from that squad. We have a Scout Squad. They just have sniper rifles, no other upgrades because I was running out of points. We have an Attack Bike with multi-melter. We have a Rifleman Dreadnought. That's a Dreadnought with 2 twin-linked autocannons. And we have a Storm Raven. He is awaiting painting as well, but I've washed him now, so he is getting there.
Okay, the Tyranids are being led by a winged Hive Tyrant. He's got 2 sets of Twin Link Devourers, and he has the psychic powers Iron Arm and Enfeeble. In the elite slot we have 2 Zoanthropes. One Zoanthrope's taken the normal powers, and the other Zoanthrope's taken Shockwave and Crush. And a unit of 3 Hive Guard. For troops we have 2 Tervigons. They've both got adrenal glands. One of them has got Life Leech and Endurance, and the other has Iron Arm and Smite. And we have the 2 units of 10 Termagants necessary in order to make our Tervigon scoring. And that's it.
And I'm playing Imperial Guard. Shock, horror, I know. Me and Imperial Guard, eh? So we've got the prerequisite platoon command squad with a couple of plasma. A company command squad with a couple of grenade launchers. That's a normal commissar. He's looking very manly, but he's a normal commissar, bolt, pistol and chainsword. And he's got a normal infantry squad with a flamer. Another commissar leading another infantry squad with plasma. And of course the prerequisite legally required veterans with trip melter. You can't play the Imperial Guard without having.
Where's their Vendetta, Chris?
Right. Oddly, they don't have Vendetta. What they've got is a Chimera.
Not quite the same.
And the Flamer Squad's got another Chimera. And an Eradicator, Lehman Russ, for all those lovely melting of Space Marines. It's quite glad I'm against 2 Blood Angels, so I just like the Eradicator anyway, but it's turned out quite a nice choice. That's a Devil Dog with multi-melter hull weapon, and that's a Basilisk with heavy mortar. And there are 3 assault cannons in the infantry platoon as well. Lot of shooty. See what happens.
And for the second Blood Angels contingent today, we have a Librarian. He is an Epistolary, he's got Might of Heroes and the Sanguine Sword, and he's in Terminator armour, and he's got a Storm Bolter, because chuckles. He and his squad of assault Marines will be tromping around in a Land Raider Redeemer. The Redeemer has a multi-melter on it. Have they got anything particular going on? No, they haven't. The other assault squad has its jump packs. Their sergeant has a power fist and some melter bombs. And a unit of 5 scouts who have some melter bombs and camo cloaks. And the Aegis defence line you've already seen.
Okay, so this is our setup. We've rolled all the pre-game stuff. Paul and Chris are going first. They've set up along here. So we've got the Basilisk here. There's a couple of Impy Guard squads up in the tower. This is the Tervagon who's got Iron Arm and he's got his termagants around him. Hive Guard here with the Hive Tyrant behind, and then you've got a couple of Chimeras, the Devil Dog thingamy. The other Tervagon and his dudes there, along with the 2 Zoanthropes. We have another Chimera and an Eradicator taking up the backfield over here. The heavy weapons team are mounted in this building with another squad of Impy Guardsmen. Is that your command squad in there, Chris? Platoon command squad in there. Company command squad in there. So over on mine and True's side of the table, we have a Dreadnought hiding in the corner, so he's out of range of Hive Guard for quite a few turns. I continue my paranoia about the damn things. We have one of our assault squads in standard I don't want to be basilisk formation, forming a circle. We have our attack bike there, some scouts mining a quad gun, some other scouts up in this building here, a Land Raider down here with an assault squad with a librarian inside it, and off the table we have got an assault squad with a Sanguinary Priest and the Death Company who are inside the Storm Raven. Okay, now True and I have come up with a cunning plan to win. Unfortunately, it involves seizing the initiative, so come on True, we need the 6.
Oh, really?
That's not a 6, True, that's a 1.
That's almost a 6.
So we get the first 2.
Sorry, I have to excuse you, she doesn't understand the difference between the 2 numbers. No, second try didn't work either. Okay, let's see what happens.
Okay, the Tyranids and the Imperial Guard have had their first turn. We have moved up and spawned some more Termagants. Both Tervagons managed to spawn and successfully keep spawning for the future, so that's good news. And the Demon Rusters moved up a bit as well. Hive Tyrant's just piled straight in because he's got Endurance and Iron Arm up at the moment, so he's just wants to get stuck in. And most of our fire was concentrated over here. The Basilisk, we were trying to get first blood on the attack bike, so the Basilisk rained a shot down there, managed to kill 2 Marines. And we also got some fire from the autocannons which killed 2 Marines, so we'll actually have to make a leadership check for those in a minute. And because of my Warlord has Terrifying Presence, you're using your lowest leadership score rather than your highest.
Okay, leadership 8. They're
They
okay.
know no fear. That's a shame because they really know the table edge. And we also managed to take out the quad gun with a mixture of the Devil Dog and the Twin Link Devourers on the Hive Tyrant. And I think that's all we managed to accomplish.
Okay, Blood Angel Alliance, turn 1. Over on this side of the board, the attack bike jetted forwards and retaliated with his return fire against the Chimera that had tried to shoot him down on the first turn. It was a hit, a penetration, and then a massive explosion, which was handy. Killed a couple of Termagants and killed at least half the squad, which was nice. Chris passed both his leadership checks he needed to make, though. The Dreadnought didn't have quite as much luck. He shuffled sideways and took pot shots at the heavy weapons team, hoping to instant death them, but they went to ground in the ruin because they're near the command squad who can tell them to get back in the fight, and they both made their cover saves. In the centre of the board, the Assault Marines with their Sergeant with Power Fist ignored the Hive Tyrant who was floating above them and leapt past to engage the Devil Dog variant. Is it a Devil Dog, Chris?
It was indeed.
It was a Devil Dog. They charged in, surrounded it, and the Sergeant beat it to death with his Power Fist. It exploded, killed a couple of Termagants, and failed to hurt any of the Space Marines, which was a result. We have 2 Scout Squads with sniper rifles, one down here, and one up here in this ruin. They decided to consolidate fire on the Toughness 8 Tervagon, which is pretty nice. We managed to each do a wound with our 2 squads, and then the Land Raider opened fire with its assault cannon and its multi-melter, and managed to do another 2 wounds. So it's taken 4 wounds on a turn it was iron armed, so that was pretty useful as well. We still got our stuff off the board, but that was a very nice turn 1.
End of turn 2 for the Imperial Guard and their mind control, collar controlled Tyranids, which aren't doing particularly well at the moment. So the highlight, yes, that's right, the highlight of the round so far is the death of the bike. The Flyrant flew over, tore it to pieces with a vector strike, and then proceeded to shoot his Devourers at the Dreadnought because he didn't have much else to do and did nothing to it. The autocannons, we were hoping that the orders would get them up so they were operational again.
In the fight!
Unfortunately, they decided that lying down on the job was a good thing to do. Now our Imperial Guard, they don't get paid much. And they had to spend last turn getting up naturally. These guys that managed to crawl out the wreckage of their blown up Chimera went and got into some cover here. These Marines, after destroying the Devil Dog, left themselves a bit in the open. They got shot at by lots of Termies there and taken down after an assault as well, down to 2 models left. They actually won the combat, but obviously all the Termies were in range to be fearless, so they don't really care at the moment. The Hive Guard, the Tervigon, the Melters inside this Chimera, and the Basilisk all fired at the Land Raider, which you may notice has got no wound markers whatsoever. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. So we removed a mighty about 5 models, if that, last turn. Not looking so good so far, but let's see how it turns out.
Blood Angel turn 2. This was another good one. Our rolling so far has certainly been superior to the evil forces of the Tyranid Guard. So over here we moved our Land Raider forwards. It kind of like ploughed onto the terrain, testing our luck. We didn't immobilise ourselves once. The squad piled out the side, ready to charge a variety of targets that were lying around. There was 2 Termagant squads, there was a Tervigon, and there was a Chimera with the veterans with melter guns inside. So we fought lots of different targets. The Tervigon that was there was taken down by combined fire from the 2 scout squads. It was toughness 9, but our poisoned sniper rifles care not for such things. We managed to deal it 3 wounds, and Paul was not particularly good with his saves, and he failed 2 of them and then failed his feel no pains as well, so off it went. It did various wounds to the Termagants, causing that squad to run away. The Land Raider then, not having to fire at the Tervigon, opened fire at the Chimera in the ruins, and yes, you guessed it, we popped it and made it explode. It killed all but the 3 melter guns and the Sergeant, which was a bit annoying. So the Marines here, with their choice of options, decided that they really wanted to take out the melter guns. We needed a 6-inch charge through terrain. Unfortunately, we only got 5 inches. So they are there ready to menace our Land Raider next turn. Over here, we don't have a lot of models left this side of the table. The Dreadnought took fire at the second Tervigon, hoping to repeat the feat we did with the first one, but we failed to hurt it at all. It made its armour saves. In the central combat, the Marine Sergeant is left playing whack-a-mole with the Termagants, but he is down to no friends, so next turn his number might well be up. Over here we did an amazing deep strike, angling down and landing inside the ruin. We then flamed to death the Imperial Guard platoon squad on this side, and we've cunningly positioned ourselves so we can't be hurt by ordnance fire from this Basilisk. Excellent. Anything else happen? I don't think so.
Killed another guy.
Oh yeah, we did that, and the Termagants. We won the combat, but hey, that doesn't mean anything to the fearless evil horde. Okay, their turn 3 coming up.
Tyranid turn 3, and Imperial Guard turn 3. Sorry. The Imperial...
It's fair enough to call it turn 3.
I think the Guard did much better.
The Imperial Guard had a fantastic turn. My Tyrant landed and gobbled up a Dreadnought, which was delicious. We took some shots. We didn't shoot our autocannons up here either.
I just suddenly thought that's what I was on. They've got nothing ready to hit at the minute.
We fired our Lehman Russ at the scouts with their cover denying shot and killed 1. No, didn't kill anything. In the centre, the fight continues with the Sergeant and the Termagants not managing to do any wounds. We really were pinning all of our hopes on this melter guns destroying the Land Raider, but we just took the assault cannon off, and then we had a fantastic Basilisk shot, which took out most of the assault marines. We need a leadership check for there.
That's it, leadership check for them is what I was
and also clipped the Land Raider for a hull point.
Okay.
They're okay, and the Hive Guard shot them as well and did nothing. I think that's all that we managed to achieve.
That is sadly it.
Okay, Blood Angel turn 3. Unfortunately, the sodding Storm Raven is still off the table. This is really hampering mine and Trude's efforts here because we have very little models left to play with. Over here, the assault squad decided, as we had so little models, it would do a freeway multi-assault, and it charged the Termagants, the Impi Guard squad up there, and the Basilisk here. I managed to run off and cut down the Impi Guard and the Termagants, but unfortunately only did 1 whole point to the Basilisk, which was the thing I really wanted to kill. Over here, the Assault Marines with the Librarian, he's hiding in there and it's painted quite dark, went in and killed the remains of the Veteran squad and then consolidated into cover. Whack-a-mole continued in the centre of the table with the Sergeant downing another Termagant. Another year and a half and he might be free of their clutches. We don't really have much else. We fired our 2 scout squads at the Turvigon and did him 3 wounds total.
Yeah.
3 wounds. The scouts are proving very useful this game with their poison weapons,
Really
just due to the amount of silly toughness Tyranids. But unfortunately, the Land Raider, that's the only other thing. He's lost his assault cannon, which was his best weapon, which is a bit of a pain. So it moved this way to try and be out of line of sight of the zone ropes and such, and to get near an objective. Because we're playing big guns never tire, and he's a heavy choice, he is scoring. He flamed, I think, 4 termagants to death, and multi-melted the Turvigon, but failed to hurt it. That was our turn.
Imperial Guard and Tyranid turn 4. So we decided we needed to get rid of that scout squad, so we fired our cover denying shot from the Lehman Russ, which killed 3, and then the Hive Tyrant, which was taken back to the air, took out the remaining 2 with his Devourers. Sprinted a Termagant squad over there to try and claim the objective, and we're also claiming the one which is inside this building. Everything else shot at the Land Raider, and we managed to do it a 3rd hull point, so that's got 1 hull point left. And we finally managed to win the never-ending assault with the Assault Marine, which has been going on since turn 1. And I think that was all the fun. Oh no, yes, we also shot bolt pistols and flesh borers at the assault squad, and there's just the librarian left in there. Leadership.
Okay, Blood Angels turn 4. As usual, 6 edition games run on quite long, we always find. As usual, we're going to have to finish it on turn 5 because we do stuff in the evenings on a Sunday, and we're running low on time because we need some dinner. So this is the end of Blood Angel turn 4, so we're each having 1 more turn after this. Look! The Storm Raven finally arrived, a little bit late. It charged in over here to come and contest this objective. It's put itself there and it fired at the heavy weapons teams with a load of instant death weaponry, failed to kill any of them obviously. Over here the assault squad leapt out and butchered a basilisk. The Land Raider driver threw it into reverse, slammed straight through that building. As you can see, it partially collapsed on top of it, and then it fired off a lucky multi-melter shot, which didn't do a lot.
Which was not lucky.
The scouts up there, they are still there. I really did do a good job on those camo cloaks on them dudes, because you can never see them. They're in that building somewhere. They fired down and put 1 wound on a Hive Guard, but inconsequential as they have 2 wounds each. So we're really just clawing at the end of the game to see if we can survive. I'll do a quick rundown of victory points so far. The one that is in this building, can't really see it, there are about 1 million termagants holding it. 1 over there, obviously the scouts are holding. 1 over here, the assault squads are holding. 1 back there, termagants will be holding. 1 over here, Impy Guard are holding, so it's 3-2 to the Impy Guard and Tyranids at the moment, but the Storm Raven still has its contents over here.
You've got First Blood.
We got First Blood, neither of us have got General.
And we've both got Line Breaker.
We've both got Line Breaker and heavy kills. We killed 1 Basilisk down here. What other heavy choices did you have?
I didn't bring any. What are you, Chris?
That's my heavy.
There's 1 more Lemon Rust there. And of ours, they have killed not the Storm Raven, not that there. They have killed a Dreadnought. So we're even on that. So they're 3 points up at the end of turn 4.
Tyranid and Imperial Guard turn 5, our last turn. We really needed to take down the Storm Raven in order to secure this rear objective. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to get back up on our feet with the autocannons. That's the second time this game that they've failed that order. The Hive Guard all shot at it but missed. Plasma guns guys here managed to kill 1 of their plasma guns but achieve little else. And unfortunately everything else was out of range of the Storm Raven, so that is still up and operational. Also, bad news, the Tyrant's coming at the Land Raider as fast as it can, but it's not going to have time to reach it before the end of the game. So that's another heavy choice we're not going to get a victory point for. Instead, he looked over his shoulder and unloaded a load of brain leech worms into the librarian, killing him on the spot. So we did at least get Slay the Warlord this turn. Other than that, we just clustered around the objectives that we're holding and are hoping for the best. Very quick turn.
So, Blood Angel turn 5 is the last turn of the game, and we needed to take an objective off them, and we would be 1 point up. So I'm taking full responsibility for this next mood, as True was sitting down, putting models away. I reversed the Land Raider to get a shot on the Turvigon to kill it, well, to hopefully try and kill it this turn. I rolled a 1 on my movable terrain, took a whole point for being immobilised, gave them a victory point. This is quite important as it'll come to pass. Shoot me for being stupid. Okay, so that happened. It was very bad. Over here, the Storm Raven, which had survived last turn, swang sideways, backed up a bit, and stuck its rear end next to the building, so it's contesting the objective because it's a heavy choice. It can do that this game. I was going to attempt to assault into there and maybe try and claim it with the Storm Raven, but they had 3 squads still in there, so we just couldn't take all of them out, even with a multi-charge from the Death Company. So now we had to get an extra victory point, else we couldn't even draw the game. So the Death Company piled out, assaulted the Eradicator, which is obviously a heavy choice, and they butchered it in close combat, giving us the drawn game. The only other thing we attempted to do was that they were holding these 2 objectives over here with termagants, always a risky move. So the Storm Raven swang round, and the scouts over there opened fire on the Tervigon in the centre, hoping the exploding termagant power would come into effect. The scouts did a wound, but then the Storm Raven piled about 4 wounds onto it with all its multitude of shots. And then we rolled, they had 3 squads on the centre bit, so we failed to take out all of those. We did quite a lot of damage though. And this last squad here had 8 members in it. We did 8 wounds to them, but he made 2 of his saves, thus staying on the objective. So it was drawn at the end. We each held 2 objectives. Blood Angels over there, and over here. The Tyranids had got this one, and the Impy Guard were holding that one over there. Oh no, we were contesting over there with the Storm Raven, and the Tyranids were holding this one down here. We had got first blood from our multi-melter attack bike killing the Chimera turn 1, and we obviously have Linebreaker as we are over in that corner still, whereas they had killed our General down here, and they obviously have Linebreaker there. They had killed 2 heavy choices, the Land Raider and the Dreadnought who's back up on the shelf, and we had killed one of their heavy choices over there, and the other heavy choice, which was the Manticore, the Basilisk that was over there. So, a drawn game.
We're really good at drawing these
We're
games,
excellent
aren't
at draws.
So everyone thinking, I thought Trude and I were rolling like devils the first 2 turns, and you 2 were rolling bobbins.
We did stink the first couple of
Yeah.
we? It really swung. First, I thought we were really, when we were comparing the armies at the start, I thought we were quite far ahead.
Army comparison-wise, looking at it, I thought we were in deep trouble.
Turns, and then when your Storm Raven didn't turn up,
failing.
failing
To
that model cost
was
us.
very far ahead.
Yeah.
No, actually, I mean, you know, if we hadn't just reversed over a rock and destroyed ourselves.
Yeah, my stupidity cost us, but that's what happens.
It's nice.
I mean, how did people think their armies fare? Paul, you first with the old Tyranids, another outing? They just seem brutal to me.
Fantastic, I love
They are great.
The Hive Tyrant is brilliant, Tervigons are brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, Trude and I...
Brilliant. I need to learn how to use zone throws, I'm not using them to their full extent.
No. We all turned up and we rolled randomly to see who got paired with who, because that's what's going to happen at the tournament we're practicing for. And Trude and I got paired together, and thematic as it was, our 2 armies I don't think made the best of overall armies, because we didn't bring a whole lot of shooting to the table, and the monstrous creatures, you need to shoot them 6 times with high strength weaponry to kill them.
I was kind of hoping to not get paired with other Blood Angels.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't give us any variety, whereas they had really good shooting and good close combat to move in with. And the Hive Tyrant, we didn't even shoot at once, did we? It was toughness 9 more or less every turn, and it was just pointless. Yeah. It was
one go at turn 7 and a couple.
Just didn't even bother shooting him. It was we just don't have the firepower in the army. But the Tervigons we managed to take down. The scouts, both our scout squads were really good, weren't they?
They were brilliant.
Brutal. I'm going to go and get me some scouts in my space marine.
Yeah, really useful.
They were really handy.
Poor Chris over there did not roll well today. Chris, what do you think of your army? It's hard to gauge. Your rolling really does screw it.
It was the Tyranids game. The Imperial Guard did what they were supposed to do, absorbed loads and loads of fire and died, and allowed the Tyranids to go and do their work.
Yes.
Did you?
They added a lot to what we
Oh yeah. Did you pass a single order check?
No. My order checks did go. I think I did 1 first rank 5.
Oh yeah, you fired 2 extra las guns.
Did nothing. And then all the important ones over here with the heavy weapons squad. I think the heavy weapons squad fired
once. I think they fired once,
for the entire game, if that. Actually.
Whenever you needed them to do something, they didn't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But orders were atrocious. But no, the Imperial Guard did what they did. They're supposed to do. They absorbed fire to allow the other team to get on with it, and. Yeah, it was the Tyranids game. I think the Tyranids might have even held that on their own. They were brutal.
Seriously?
Yeah. Without because, I mean, obviously it's a slight mistake in army to be on some say, but I really wanted a flyer in my Blood Angel list, and they only have access to the Storm Raven. I put a reasonably cheap squad as things go inside it, but it's such a keystone of the army. It's what brings a load of heavy fire, and it's got my best assault elements in it.
If that turned up one turn early,
it had 1 turn of doing stuff because it had the jet across the board on the other turn.
You could get by without your HQ in there. Obviously, it's a lot less lethal, but
the HQ doesn't really fit anywhere else. He doesn't bring much to anything else, and he's kind of needed in there because if it gets destroyed in the air, they all take strength 10 hits. So he comes with an invulnerable save, so he can absorb the first couple of hits with luck, leaving you still a viable squad inside.
I'm just trying to think of ways of freeing up more points because you've got so many points in your.
Yeah, I mean he's 100 points in there. He wouldn't really add a lot. He doesn't have a jump pack, and I can't afford one for him to go with the assault squad. And they're killy enough as it is. They don't need the extra punch.
And scouts aren't really renowned for needing a Reclusiarch leading them. Really,
no, that's it.
Speaking, so.
I mean, ideally,
ideally,
I wouldn't take an HQ with this army. It doesn't need an HQ. None of the HQs bring a whole lot to the table. I mean, he makes the Death Company super killy. I mean, they're killy enough anyway. They each get 5 attacks on the charge.
Yeah, they are brutally hard.
They're silly killy. I mean, I still quite like the army. It's just that just didn't turn up.
Yeah, I think it was a good army. The only thing I could think of was to try and reduce the number of points. And the only way you can do it really is by taking the Reclusiarch out.
Yeah, 5 Death Company are really the minimum I'd like to field.
Yeah, so
we put 5 assault marines in there, but that's just not.
They're a different planet really to 5 Death Company.
They can score though.
I'm getting less convinced as autocannons and heavy weapon choices in 6th.
I really like mortars because you can. They're indirect fire. They can hit the centre model and do loads of, and they're the cheapest option.
I think you need either mortars or las cannons. I think you either need to be something like mortars, cheap, cheerful, flexible, or you need something that can really hit hard.
But then you don't need to defeat a whole army of Razorbacks or.
But you say that, but Trude and I, neither of our armies were designed to take on vehicles, but that also means you're not designed to take on monstrous creatures, which are the same bracket of firepower needed to hurt them. Yes. So if Chris's army was against Paul's, for instance, he'd have had loads of tools to deal with Paul. He had melter guns, plasma guns, autocannons, multi-lasers even, and heavy bolters are good versus monstrous creature, whereas True and I had 2 multi-melters on the Land Raider and the Storm Raven and 1 on the bike. And other than that, our shooting, we had a Dreadnought with strength 7 shooting, and that was all our shooting that was above strength 4.
Yes.
So it was a bit of an issue. Anyway, I've got to go and do some stir fry, and we need to tidy up. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.